Welcome to another episode of our live show podcast, Seen and Heard.
Hello, everyone. Today with us we have Robert Petkovic. Could you tell us a few words about yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or whatever. Hi. I'm Robert Petkovic. Let's say digital specialist for a couple of decades, but well known as the guy for digital analytics in Croatia, Europe, and so on. So, yeah, I'm specialized into not just implementing digital analytics, but actually consulting in digital analytics or explaining people what these figures and charts mean, actually.
Okay, thank you. A very short and to the point introduction. And we had quite an emergency before we even started, and it connects with analytics. We tried to create a QR code for Robert so you can reach his website, and we show it now. But we didn't take into account that some additional things are needed regarding Google Analytics. So, Robert, could you explain this? What exactly is needed additionally to the link to somebody's site?
Well, first of all, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal to me, but I'm a geek here, you're not. So it's totally fine. But let's say it's like if I would, say I'll do my, shot, a photo, for a profile photo, but I'll use just, the external light from the window. Of course, Darko, you'll, have a stroke but after hearing that. And you'll say, no, it's not how you do it properly. You need to put everything. So this is like with this.
But we want to learn how to do it properly. So also with links.
That's why we are here. We talk a bit about this, not just last week and today. We talk about it in previous occasions when we actually met on whether Google Analytics or digital analytics at all is suitable for small websites or for bigger websites only. Of course, I think it's suitable for all the websites, not just the big ones. Okay, yeah, I like when I have big clients. I like when they have millions of euros of revenue per month on their web shops and so on. But my small website has less than 1,000 sessions per month. So it's a small website, but I'm trying, and I don't expect 10,000 of visitors per day. It's not that kind of a big of a website, because I would like my client to pick me up after they read something, or they want to reach my content and know more about me when they enter the website. So one client per month, one visitor per month should be enough. Of course, it's not like that. So a couple of hundred of sessions per month on my website. But I'm trying to know better where did those visitors came from. Not just did they visit my website from Google. Let's just reverse a bit. So what's digital analytics? Digital analytics or Google Analytics is a tool that helps us understand are our marketing efforts good enough for our website, for our needs. So we are not just, it's not statistics. We are not just counting how many people read, which pages are mostly read, and that kind of stuff. But we are trying to figure out, okay, are people coming to our website from Google by searching something over Google? Are they coming via LinkedIn or Facebook or some newsletter we said, or whatever? Which are the sources of those visits? And are those visits of good quality or not? So if a bunch of people are coming from some ad I created and they're just coming to my website and going away, that's useless. And that campaign is not good for me. So I should turn it off, stop spending money on that. But if some other ad is actually gaining just 10% of those previous visits, but all of them are good quality visits and they are filling up the form on my website or whatever, these are good quality visits. So I should put more money into that ad. So Doesn't matter if there are a couple of thousands of visits per day or a couple of visits per day, you can still get useful information if you know how to set up your digital analytics properly. I don't mean just by setting up the code on website, but things like we actually did here. So you created a QR code that's actually coming to my website. And I was freaking out like 15 minutes ago about that, because this is not how you do it. If you just type in my website's name, which I will not tell now, but let people scan the QR code, or we can put it in the chat, the proper URL. So if you just type in the URL of my website, that will be so-called direct visit. Somebody arrived to my website, but I don't know how. They typed in my URL. I don't know. I can't tell how did they heard about me. So it's not possible to just type in some website's name and stumble upon a website before prior knowing about that website somehow. My aunt tell me, or I saw it on a TV, or I saw a billboard on the outside, or in a newspaper, whatever. I could know something about that website prior to typing that directly. So the link you created was actually generating direct visits to my website. Okay, that's fine. There are visits to my website, but I would like to know whether this podcast is actually generating some visits to my website. And by creating the proper URL, so we actually changed the URL of this QR code, and the URL we'll type in the chat. By changing that URL, I actually put some more characters in the URL, in the website address. So there's tons of so-called UTM tags, and you can come to my website and learn more about UTM tags. No problem. So that way, I can see if those visits are from this podcast or some previous podcast I was guest at, or if those visits arrived by Google or whatever. So this is why the panic on my side, because it's not a big deal, but I'm losing the valuable information. The most important thing in digital analytics is properly collecting the data, and you need to know how to collect the data by knowing all those tiny bits and pieces. Because if you miss the opportunity to collect the data in a quality way, well, you get garbage in, so the garbage will go out, or you will not be able to fully understand the community, the sources of your website's visit, and so on. Okay, short answer as usual.
Yeah,
Everyone,
very
please
short.
scan so that Robert sees that we have quality visits and eyes on the
I
show.
can see them already in my real-time web analytics. I can see already that there are visits from.
You're already recorded.
Yeah, we could do the other thing. So that link is one thing, QR code is another link, so that I will be able to distinguish between QR code and link. But okay, if we only had 5 more minutes, we could do that as well. But yeah, that's kind of thing that I usually do with my clients. Okay, setting up Google Analytics or any other, I don't know, P-Week or whatever other digital analytics is not that hard. The initial, I mean, 80% of users can actually put the Google Analytics code by themselves. But if you want something more, then you need some specialist who will help you gain more data. But the main code is, let's say, simple. Let's say, okay. But in order to know these kind of details, in order to know where are those visitors actually coming from, you need to know similar details like this on I don't know which users are coming from not just Facebook, or which users are coming not just from LinkedIn or not just from QR code, but which post on Facebook actually generated good quality visits, which post on LinkedIn actually created good quality website visits. So this is actually what am I trying to, I don't know, achieve with all these details. Yeah.
So we can all learn now directly from an example how it looks like and how data is supposed to be collected. Well, most of us who have, let's say, small websites, just put this Google code
You
into our headers, and
yeah.
that's basically it. But it starts much before we even open the Google Analytics dashboard. You need to think about it when you're putting your link out there. This is what you're saying. So
Yeah.
collecting is the main point to have something to analyze later.
Yes. As I said earlier, if you have a garbage in, you'll not have good quality data for the understanding on what's actually happening. Usually when I'm doing with web analytics consultancy with my clients, I prepare a set of rules on how are we going to collect the website data. So if you're having a newsletter, you need to know how are you going to tag all those links that are coming from your newsletter to a website. Because if you don't know these UTM tags, if you don't know them, then again, all the visits to your website will be direct visits. You will not be able to know where did those visits came from, either from newsletter, from Google, from Facebook, or whatever. But if you properly tag those links, you will be able to figure out whether a user is clicking on a link on the header of a newsletter, in the footer of a newsletter, on the body. Yeah, you know all that in newsletter tools. But these tools are not what Google Analytics are for. You know in all those newsletter tools what's the opening rate, click rate, and so on. But in Google Analytics, you actually know whether people who clicked on header actually filled up the form on your website or not, or did they buy something on your website or not. This is what is actually the most important piece of information in digital analytics. So you need to figure out which are your website's goals, what are your users here for. So when you're creating website, you need to know first, okay, what will a user accomplish on your website in order for you and them to know, okay, the session is done. They did what they came for. Is it a phone number? Click the phone number. Is it a click on an email? Is it a filling up the form? Is it buying some product or service? These kind of details should be known, and some specialists should know how to track them. And after that, you need to know all those rules on how to setting up those UTM tags or whatever on your website, so that you will be able to know better how to. When you're looking at the data, when you're looking at the report, you will be able to figure out, oh, these are newsletters, these are Facebook posts from 2 weeks ago, but the one from a week ago is much better than the previous one, and so on and so forth. And I'm trying to figure out the link on my website for people to read about UTM tags. We'll put it in the chat later, no problem.
Sure, when you find it. We already have Sajan saying hello from YouTube. Hello. If you have any questions or comments later on, please let us know, and we'll then ask Robert about your specific situation. Now, you have a little black figure on your shoulder there, and I think this is what most small business owners see when they think of data and consultants. Oh my God, I'm not big enough. But from what you've said, it sounds like it might even be more important for small businesses to know what exactly works, because they don't have that many resources. So what would you say is the most important beginning for them?
Yeah, I didn't go to a dark side because you cannot see, but the Darth Vader on my shoulder is actually surrounded by Asterix figures from the cartoon. So it is surrounded by Gaul village. So yeah, I'm good.
He's being captured by Asterix and Obelix.
Yeah. Let me just. Sorry, I found the.
He promised the link
that I would like
therefore
to share
he needs
right
to deliver,
and it will be a long one. So yeah, I'll put it in the chat if I may.
Some additional UTM tags are being added in the meantime, so he knows it comes from this.
Also. No, somehow I think I'm not able to put anything in the chat, but okay. No.
You can put it in our private chat and we'll share.
Never mind. Okay. Sorry, what was the question? I was trying to figure it out.
Well, small businesses are afraid of data and they think this is not important for me. I'm
So
not
yeah,
big enough.
for small business, I think I was able finally to put something in the chat. So that it's actually a link to a blog post that explains why those UTM tags are important. And as you can see, the whole link has actually a pretty long URL with UTM source, UTM medium, campaign, and so on. So a lot of information that can help me figure out whether people actually came by QR code or they actually clicked on this link. And I hope this link will be useful to them. So as I said, first I'm trying to establish the rules for at least these UTM tags, so that everyone who is actually attending, who is actually involved in any marketing activities, know how to properly tag all those links, so that someone who is actually looking at Google Analytics or any kind of other analytics data can see what's useful and what's not. Sadly, I should say most agencies are actually not doing this, or at least not doing the proper way, because in order to be able to have a bigger picture over the whole marketing situation, you need to be aware of what your colleagues are actually doing, not just what you are doing. And on the other hand, most clients, they just want the number of people who actually stumbled upon a website over the weekend or something like that. Okay, here's the report from the last week. How many people we had on our website? 5,000. Great. Move on. Nobody's actually, or not that many people are actually talking about whether we should reallocate the budget here or there or whatever. It's the most important thing is that we actually spend our budget, and of course the results should be better than the previous period. And how to get that? Well, I don't care, will say any boss, but it's on the specialists to know, okay, how to gather that data, where to see the data, whether this podcast was actually good for my brand, or LinkedIn post where I actually talk about that is better for my brand, or whatever. So details matter if you want actually to analyze the data. And especially for small businesses, like we are talking about right now, because if you have several hundred of visits per week, per month, every visit actually matters. So if you don't know what you are doing, and us small enterprises, look at me, solopreneurs, we are trying to write content on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is so popular for the past couple of years. We were trying to generate a lot of content on Facebook. And Facebook groups are still a good source of good quality traffic on your website. You are creating your own blog posts, you're promoting them everywhere, whatever. But if you don't know where to put that content, you're actually wasting your time. Nowadays, I know in which Facebook groups I should put my content, so that I don't put it actually on my public profile most of the time, and when to post some good quality content on LinkedIn, or is it better for me to comment, or is it better for me to create content there, and that kind of stuff. So all the tiny details. And you need to have, of course, the time in your life to actually analyze the data and figure out that later, which is what we don't have at the end. But okay, very good.
Here is the text, so people can,
we have another one, another QR code.
Can learn more about this.
Since I'm talking here right now, again, what's the bet? Well, let's learn a new thing. Why I was panicking earlier when 15 minutes before we started the podcast, because when you have so long URL, so you see in the chat, you can see the URL is. I ever wonder why some links you have long URLs. UTM sources, it's like 35 characters or whatever long. The longer URL you have in your QR code, the harder it is for a smartphone to scan it properly. So if you have just a short URL, this is the reason why I actually prepared the short URL earlier. If you have just a short URL, you can print it on a billboard. You can put it on an ice screen. You can have a cheaper phone to scan it. But if you have a long URL, it gets harder to scan it properly. Okay, maybe now on screen it's not that bad, but I don't know what's the quality of a stream for the end users. So if somebody is not having, I don't know, fiber to the home at home, maybe they have a blurred image, and maybe the first QR code will they be able to scan, while this one will maybe not be read properly, or maybe just a portion of it will be read, so it's not that. But I hope everybody will be able to read it properly. That's fine. Okay. Have any other questions?
We hope so too. We talked about the UTM tags. What else is important?
If there are some people actually, there are a few people again. Scan the QR code.
We are not alone. Hello, everyone.
By using this QR code. Okay.
You are free to say hi. People seem to be a bit shy in the comments. I think.
I'm sorry, I don't hear you right now.
Can you hear me, Darko?
Yes, I can hear. So this part is working without problem. So perhaps it's something
probably on my side. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So people, you can just scan this code and see more about UTM tags on Robert's link. So hopefully it's working. If Robert sees people there directly in the real time that are arriving at his site.
Yeah.
Okay, are you back with us?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see someone from Istanbul coming to my website using the QR code. That's nice.
Yeah, we're international, so
that it's probably just a VPN. Somebody coming from
no,
but
it's probably VPN.
By the way, this is usually the question on my lectures. Or I'm having a lot of traffic from, I don't know, Indonesia or whatever, and people are buying stuff from me from Indonesia, while in my in my CRM or sales records, I don't see any purchase going to Indonesia. So what's happening? Well, these are VPNs. So you know what a VPN is. It's a virtual private network. You are actually logging into your company's network so that you'll be able to do your work remotely. Or you can pretend that you are from some other country in order to, I don't know, to not to obey the law. I mean, so if you are not in European Union, you can pretend that you are coming from the European Union, and you'll be able to see some other content on your website or whatever. So if you are working with IT companies, or if you are an IT company, your web analytics can be so lousy that's not normal, because you are dealing with developers. And developers are not to say afraid, but they're not trustworthy to other
paranoid
people.
Yeah,
paranoid.
Not afraid.
Also paranoid. No. So yeah, they are blocking the scripts. They are blocking everything on their websites. They pretend they are coming from, I don't know, US while they're in Zagreb or whatever. So in your digital analytics, you see a crap of data. Sorry, my French. So that can be a problem. Also, in many websites in our region, you can see people coming from various countries while they are actually pretending, or I don't know, they want to go to, I don't know, Pornhub and pretend that they are coming from Russia or whatever, and then they simply forget to shut off the VPN while browsing to index.hr or whichever website. So it happens a lot. So that's why the data in digital analytics, it's not that trustworthy when it comes to, I don't know, city or a region or country or gender or whatever. But if they click on the QR code, or if they scan the QR code, I will definitely know that they actually arrived to a website scanning the QR code, no matter whether they are from Turkey, Indonesia, Australia, or Zagreb. And actually, there are people from Zagreb and Novi Sad right now on the website, so it's all fine.
Who are not on VPN. But actually, it doesn't need to be such a paranoid reason for it. I remember I was working for a company in Romania, and all of a sudden they had a big number of users coming from France, and the website was in Romanian and everything was there. And how come all the people come from France? And we figured out that these were probably working for a local car manufacturer that was acquired by a French company. And VPN was going through the French headquarters. So it doesn't need to be on purpose or paranoia. It could be just a case like this.
You got cases like this, or I don't know, a new web provider, a new internet provider who is actually having their servers in one small city somewhere, and all the traffic is coming from that city until they figure it out how it happens. But also, that kind of information can be useful, because most of the time clients ask me, okay, what's happening with the data right now? Why do we have such figures? And I usually ask them, well, I don't know. You tell me why do we have those figures? How come? Aren't you a consultant? So I'm here to explain you what these figures mean, what this metric actually mean. But you need to tell me, what have you done on TV, or what have you done on radio or billboard or in any other media? What have you actually done for the past week in order to have that data? I'll say two stories, but let's just go through the first one. And actually, that data on countries and whatever can be useful. I remember I had a case, it was like 15, maybe even 20 years ago. I had a client who was a Swiss watch manufacturer, a pretty well-known one. They have international websites, and I was trying to figure out, I was working with a digital marketing agency, and I was trying to come in touch with the whole marketing team. But no, you're just digital, you're doing with Facebook, you doesn't matter. So us digital marketeers, we all the time, it doesn't matter, we don't matter. Okay, but I was trying to ask them, okay, what's happening in can't remember whether that was Seoul in South Korea or some city. Let's say Seoul in South Korea. Let's say, what's happening in Seoul for you? Nothing, doesn't matter. Just stick with your Facebook and whatever. And I was pushing that question for a couple of times. What's happening? Because I saw a huge uplift in visits from Seoul in South Korea, and not bad quality visits. These were not bots, because I could see whether these were bots coming to your website or whatever. So, okay, something's happening, but probably we will not figure out tomorrow. That would be Winnipeg in Canada or some other city or whatever. And then, like 3 months later, somebody asked me, you were mentioning Seoul, South Korea, a couple of months ago. I was like, yeah, probably. Okay, what happened? Well, so you were able to see that data in digital analytics. I said, yes, that's why I was asking you what's happening. Well, funny story. There was a case that I think it was South Korea or something. So a TV host, female, had a situation, an awkward situation in their career, because how to say, the private documentary leaked in public. So yeah, unfortunately, what happens? So her nude photos and videos actually leaked, and it was a huge thing. It was a huge thing then, and she was promoting something, or maybe the show something. She had a huge billboard on the main square somewhere in Seoul. So it was, but on the right side, just beside that her billboard of hers, it was an ad for that Swiss watch manufacturer. So actually, people were starting to realize that there's another brand, and they were trying to figure out, Googling what's that other brand. So totally unrelated story, actually linked to brand awareness in that country. And they figured it out a couple of months later, and I was able to see that in digital analytics earlier. So imagine if we only knew that a couple of days after I raised the bar for the first time, raised the question for the first time, they could do something more while the whole topic was still hot. So this is actually what you can do if you are a big brand. And there's another story that, the other story, I had it just a couple of weeks ago. with the big client of mine. They said, okay, we have issues. Probably Google is doing something with their algorithm or whatever, because our organic traffic is dropping. Organic traffic means traffic coming from Google or similar search engines. So Bing, Google, Yandex, or whatever. So our traffic from Google is actually dropping. And I was like, okay, yes, I can see it's dropping, but the quality of that content is not dropping that much. So maybe that's good. Yeah, but we need to have a lot more visitors, because this is a KPI. KPI is key performance index, something you need to have at the end of the week, month, or whatever to report to your bosses. So it doesn't matter. The revenue actually dropped a bit. The quality didn't drop at all, or just slightly, but the amount of visits actually dropped a lot. I was like, well, that's not such bad news. This is like, okay, the website is not struggling with useless visits. But okay, what happened? Oh, probably Google changed its algorithm. They announced something, or we are having issues, technical issues with the website, or whatever. Okay. I was like, okay, what are you trying to report? You are trying to report to compare February with March. Okay, what happened in February? Were you actually involved in the Winter Olympics? They were like, yes, we had TV ads, we have a lot of ads. And when did that campaign stop? Well, the campaign stopped at the end of Olympics, so it's at like end of February. So what's the problem? What are you talking about? If you have a lot of TV ads, people are not clicking on a TV ad, or they are not clicking even on a banner on a website. So if you are jumping all around, somebody who is interested into your brand or something that you are promoting, they will Google it. And if you stop the TV campaign, they will stop Googling. So Google traffic is actually a good source of PR information. So if you have a good PR, probably you will not be able to distinguish that just come from that ad or that I don't know, news content or something, but people will Google you. So the situation happened that when the client stopped with the TV advertising campaign, the amount of visits on their website actually dropped. What should they do next? This is what digital analytics is for. There's no straight or proper answer after that, but talking with the marketing manager, okay, what are we going to do next? Should we, I don't know, start another TV campaign? Should we, target all those people who actually arrived by Google in February and didn't buy anything? Should we track them, or should we show them another ad for something that they didn't buy but were looking for? That can go, I don't know, for a couple of hours, that kind of conversation to figuring out what to do next. So this is what I do on a daily basis. Boring.
Okay. So when you figure out things that happen with help of people who do something like put the ads, and when there is no link, customers start to Google you. So organic traffic goes up.
Yeah. In our case, if we didn't put this UTM text on a QR code, that will not be Google traffic. That will be, as I said, direct traffic. But probably someone will Google my name after this podcast. If they read something they will not click on the link. They will try to Google my name, and probably I will have also a raise in organic traffic in a couple of days. I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
that's awesome.
I would say this is the, maybe old way people tried to find you. In the last year or so, people try just chatting with these AI bots, and can you see what they type in or how they find you via these bots, or do you even see the traffic?
I can see the bots traffic in digital analytics. Yes, I can see that, and it's not that there's a ton of such traffic. I can see, I think I'm able to figure out whether that's bot coming to your website and scanning the website, or whether there's a actual person who clicked on a link that was provided by, I don't know, ChatGPT and arrived to your website. So far I can see that it's not a huge amount of visits, but these are usually good quality visits. So people are afraid right now that AI will steal all the organic traffic. So people will not go Googling something, but they will go to AI and then figuring out something. And yes, that's true. Most of informational queries or informational visits to some websites. When you are trying to figure out, okay, I'm going to Paris in a month. Where should I drink good coffee? So this is like informational kind of query, and you'll probably use AI to figure it out, or you'll Google it, and also Google will provide some AI output. But when you narrow your search to a couple of quarters or couple of coffee shops in Paris, then you will probably Google it, or you'll click a link on that AI provides you, and then you will finish your research there. So some brands will see the drop of organic visits to websites, but those visits are actually of a better quality right now, because people are not just coming to a website saying, oh, no, this is not for me, I'm going to another site. I mean, most of the visits to our websites are, oh, no, this brand is not for me, or this service is not for me. People trying to figure it out. AI is actually filtering out that. So you're having less visits to your website, but you're not having less contacts, or you're not having less revenue or something like that. If you do, that can also be a problem. But yeah, we don't need lousy quality visits to our website. We need actually good quality visits to our website. And that's what can be seen through Google Analytics. Yeah.
So it's actually good news for people to come through AI answers because they are good quality visitors, and we should not put this blockers to not to be for our website not to be readable by the AI bots.
No. Let's be readable by the AI bots. I mean, it's totally fine. If you have AI visits coming to a website, then well, you've been scanned earlier. You've been indexed by an AI. That can be good. That can be good. So you can be search results within the AI. So it's not a problem. By the way, since I'm already advertising my website, I do have a post on how to figure out if your website has been visited by an AI. So yeah, let me find the link. I'll figure it out somehow.
Okay, you need to add these tags and everything, so it'll take a while. But yeah, we should also know if our website. What?
I think I have it already. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. Now it's streamlined. Added this text for our show. Okay.
The last link I sent. The last link, not the second.
Okay.
Okay.
So to see if our website has been scanned by artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Right.
Which is a good thing. Which can be a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So people are afraid. Yeah, AI will just collect oral information and then give something bad. But actually, they do give links to, in the meantime, in the last couple of months, to the readers of their content. So people do come to our website.
Yeah. I mean, even my small website is getting traffic by AI. So yeah, I've been scanned. So I hope people are getting some useful information. Yeah. So again, you have a link to the blog post explaining how to track your AI visits, or how to group those AI visits into one channel called AI traffic, in order to see if you have AI traffic on your website. Yeah, it's useful.
Okay, and you said that us as, let's say, novice analytics just viewers I don't know how to call us. Anyway, we usually just see, oh, there is a lot of traffic there. We're happy. But what is exactly what we need to look out in this analytics dashboards, be it Google Analytics or any other? The quality of people, of visitors, or something else? Which are the numbers which should be really important to us?
Well, that's a good question, because people usually look at, okay, how many people do I have on my website? How many pages did they scroll to, or whatever? Which countries they are coming from? This is the most visited report, because it's a vanity metric, or all these metrics are just vanity metrics. Oh, people coming from Burkina Faso is looking for my website. Yay, I'm so popular. Just one visit and it's probably a bot. So it's not good. You need to look at the quality. So there are a lot of metrics in digital analytics. So in digital analytics, you have a table. You have a chart as well, but you have a table that has some words on the left side, which are dimensions, which you can see the traffic on, and some numbers on the right side, which are metrics. So you can see in Google Analytics, you have at least 180 metrics, which you can read. That's a ton of data, and at least I think 160 dimensions. So that's, if you multiply that, that's huge. A lot of ways to see the data in digital analytics. So if you are looking at the wrong data, which most people are looking at, if you're looking at the wrong data, you can come to wrong conclusions. So number of visits or sessions in digital analytics is something that we are looking at, or number of users is what are we looking at, so number of people. While I'm trying to say to my clients, don't look at the sessions, look at metric called engaged sessions. So these are sessions of good quality. So if I'm coming to your website, Darko, and I just leave, I stumble upon it and I just leave after 5 seconds, probably the Google Analytics will track that one visitor arrived and that was one session, but it was not a good quality session. And if I come back tomorrow and if I click on 2 or 3 web pages on your website, that's a good quality session. So you will have one visitor coming in 2 days, you will have one visitor coming twice, but only one session will be of a good quality. And my engagement rate, which is the metric we should look at, my engagement rate, so it's a percentage of sessions which are good, is in this case 50%. So we are looking at what's the quality rate on visits on my website. Is it 30%? So if my engagement rate of my visitors is just 30%, then I'm not doing something good. These people are just coming to my website and going away. Why? Why are they not accomplishing something that I want? If my engagement rate is 85%, I probably messed something with the setup. It's not possible to have that good quality or something. So we need to figure out by tracking, if we are tracking everything right, and see what's the quality of our content, and not to look it on whole level, on a whole website level, but we should look at, okay, what's the quality of Google organic traffic? So people coming from Google, are they generating good quality content? What's the quality of content of people coming from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from QR codes, from podcasts, or whatever? And that's how we can figure out, okay, where can we find a good quality audience for our website, and so on. And also the website should be good or well prepared, because if we have only one pager with nothing to click on and no second page or whatever, in that case, Google Analytics cannot track anything else but the first page load. If we are not able to track something else, then Google Analytics will not track anything else, and all visitors to our website will be of a low quality. So in that case, the web pager is the one pager website is not good. It's usually produced by designers who are good in billboards. who are good in producing content on one page, but one pager is not good for web. It's not well prepared for web. I know that tons of small businesses who are only having one pagers because that's what I actually need. No. At least you have a contact form or contact information on the other side, and you can have your services and products information on the third page, and I don't know, about us on fourth page. You can split that in a couple of pages so that people can browse through your website, and you can figure out whether the visits to your website are of good quality or not. I hope that I actually answered your question.
Yeah, but can Google Analytics not just see if you're scrolling down the page and what are you looking? Because there are these tools that you see where people are clicking and how long they are on each part of a page. So Google Analytics doesn't do that. It just records one visit to the page.
Let's say it can track a scroll. So if your Google Analytics 4 is implemented in a good way, it can track a scroll on your website, but it tracks a scroll which is more than 25% of website scroll. And if it happened after 10 seconds, the Google Analytics will collect it. And of course, the 90%. You can set it up whatever you want. You can track every 5% steps on your website scroll. But Google Analytics is not meant to be a UX analytical tool. What you describe is how actually Hotjar works. Hotjar is a pretty good tool. And actually, Microsoft released the Clarity, which is analytical tool. Is it Clarity? I think it is. Which is
Clarity,
also digital
Crystal, something like this. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, I think it's Microsoft Clarity thing. A tool for digital analytics as well. And they have like heat maps. So you can see where people are actually staying on your website, which is not what digital analytics is for. Digital analytics is for marketing mostly. And what you are trying to figure out is UX. So designers need that kind of information. I totally agree. Designers maybe don't need UTM tags or something we were talking earlier. But if you want to figure out how to realign something on your website, yeah, you need some heat mapping tool. Google Analytics used to do that, but it's not meant for that, and you should probably not use it in such case. But there are some good use cases. Usually when I'm doing analytics for some content websites or I don't know, news websites, news portals, they usually want to know, okay, which articles are actually read on our website. And the first thing I ask the editor is, okay, what do you want? Do you want the statistic of how many times some article has been opened, or do you want a good analysis on how many times some article actually has been read all the way to the end? It's totally different tracking. Google Analytics is able to track the number of openings, and this is what most websites actually do. And this is what they actually are. They are also generating as reports to their stakeholders or to their clients. You know, if you have some banner or some news websites, you'll get the report of how many times it was opened, and you know. But nobody's getting you analysis of whether that content is actually being read all the way down or not. So in most news websites or even small company websites, they have blogs. I'm actually making analysis of, okay, which type of content is actually being read all the way down, which authors are those whose content is actually being read all the way down, and which articles are being read. And then we have some reading rate. Let's say, okay, this type of article is read 20%, this 5%, and based on that, every good news editor is able to figure out what to do with their websites. Someone will say, well, I don't care about that. I just care about how many banners are actually shown, and that's it. This is my business model. And of course, you will lose your readers that way. Someone else will say, okay, yeah, I need that. I need that to figure out how to track that. Someone will say, yeah, I don't need that. I need, if you can provide me just a half half. When somebody reads just a half of the article, that's good, and also all the way down, because I'm writing the article based on universe pyramid. So people who are actually creating who are reading the content, they will get the proper information in the first couple of paragraphs. Only few of them will read all the way through. And also I'm putting links in my website, so people are creating their own story by clicking through within links on my news portal website. So most of the readers will not have the need to go all the way down and to read it all the way down. So this is how the letter that I actually explained, this is how a good news editor will actually think, who understands how people are reading on website. But actually I only had one who is thinking that way, and that was actually the oldest news editor that I work with. Most of the others will be glad to know, okay, if the content has been actually read, and that's a good start for having a good quality analysis. Doesn't matter if you have 10,000 visitors per day or if you are having just 10 visitors per day. This is always a good quality information.
Okay, so most of us micro enterprises, one-man shows, let's say this way, don't have this amount of data there to see. And when we open any of the analytics dashboards, there is usually nothing special on day-to-day basis. What would be a good time interval on check if something is happening and what is going on? Is there any, let's say, recommendation regarding this? Once a month, once a week?
Yeah, actually like that. Once a month or once a week. Once a week could be a good start to see, okay, what happened in the last week, because probably you will remember what you've done on Tuesday. If you see a spike in your traffic on Tuesday, you'll remember what you've done on Tuesday. Apart from, okay, what did I do 3.5 weeks ago? Can't remember that. So looking at your data on a weekly basis can be a good way to start. If you don't have enough data, well, stick to a monthly basis. Most of my clients are getting weekly and or monthly reports, automatically reports. So on Monday or on Tuesday morning, you will get a report with the most important data for you. All of those 160 or whatever metrics, you will get 10, which and 3 are maybe the most important for you. So you can, even as a small business, a small website owner, you can start looking at the homepage of Google Analytics. So Google Analytics actually has a homepage where you can on the top left you can see 4 metrics. 4 metrics which you can choose. You can choose whether to have engagement rate, number of engaged sessions, number of users, or number of page views. Let's say you can have 4, and you can see whether your metrics from last week were better than the previous week or worse than the previous week. And also you can have a couple of reports, of tables below that chart. So you can have which countries there are people coming from, which pages are mostly opened on my website, what are the sources of my traffic, Google, LinkedIn, post, Facebook, and so on. That kind of report you can have on a homepage, and you can take a look at it every couple of days. Let's say on a weekly basis, it's not a problem. The good thing that happened a couple of months ago is something that most clients are actually asking for. Okay, is this good or bad? I mean, we look at some metric and they ask, okay, is this metric, is this value good or bad? And anyone who's ever been to any of my lectures know that the proper answer for that question is, it depends. So always any analytical question, the first answer is, it depends. It depends on what's good for you. Okay, but how could I compare with someone in the world and to know whether that's good or bad? And I usually say, okay, well, first of all, you need to compare that with yourself. You need to be better than yourself previous month or week, and not the competition. But okay, I get the urge, because if you don't have any benchmark, to stick with, you don't know actually whether that's good or bad. So Google Analytics introduced benchmarking actually. So for many metrics, let's say how many visitor or engagement rate, like a quality rate or that kind of metric, for many metrics on homepage of Google Analytics on homepage, if you check on the benchmarking, you can see how that metric actually relates with your competition all around the world. So what happens is Google Analytics is trying to figure out what your website's about, and it's pretty good in that. And there are more than 1,000 categories, and it will put you into one category. You can change it later. So Google Analytics is trying to, first of all, to get at least 100 websites from your category all around the world that have similar number of visits per day or per week, so that you, Darko, cannot be compared to, I don't know, Amazon website. It's totally useless. But they will probably find out a couple of hundred, let's say, websites of photographers around the world that has, I don't know, 1, 2, or 2,000 visitors per week or whatever. And it will be able to tell you, okay, are you better than the average? Are you lower than the average? Are you totally lousy in what you are doing? How are you comparing with your competitors? This is like revealing for most people. They can finally figure out, okay, I'm doing at least something good. I'm better or I'm worse, or okay, we need to achieve this amount of value for some metric and so on. So this is, let's say, a good feature on the homepage of Google Analytics, where you can actually compare yourself with the rest of the world. And you cannot know which actual websites these are. That's not the point. It's not like, oh, I can track directly my competitor. No. You are actually comparing yourself with similar websites all around the world, which is good.
You cannot put it to be on local websites, only on global.
No, it's you don't know. Actually, you don't know.
No,
which is a good thing, as I said, it's a marketing tool. It's not the sales tool, because salespeople would like to, I don't know, pinpoint the exact one buyer or the exact one competitor of their own. While marketing is always dealing with groups of at least 100 people or competitors or whatever. So we need to, because if you are trying to figure out just
I'd say there is difference between local market and, let's say, the same thing market in Asia, perhaps. So yeah, there could be differences. But
I
anyway,
hope
this is automatically turned on feature.
I think so.
Or do we need to agree to something, turn it on?
Yeah, we need to agree to sharing data with Google. So all websites actually agree to share their data with Google. You don't know who those websites are, so we are sharing our website data with Google Analytics. And in that case, you can also get. So you need to share the data in order to compare yourself with the rest of the world. That's it. So yeah, if it's not turned on, it's a small, like a trophy, like a trophy icon on the homepage of Google Analytics, right at the right corner of that first chart on the left. So here, the right corner of the chart, you can see a small trophy. If it's not turned on, you can try to turn it on, and Google Analytics will say either that metric is not able to be compared, like revenue will not be able to compare with others, or average, I think maybe even average order value is. Some metrics will not be able, or Google Analytics will say, yeah, you need to enable the sharing, and then to figure out which type of website you are. So yeah, most clients actually has it enabled right now. Yeah.
Okay, but if we don't see this information, it's a trophy icon, and we can start using it more properly, let's say that way, because we have no idea what we need to look and what is better or worse there in this information.
Yeah. At least that way you can see whether your metric is better or worse than competitors. And yeah, if you want to know more about this, you can always come to some, I don't know, lecture of mine or something like that, or come to my website and read about that more. I mean, I could talk. You can see, yeah, I could talk about that for hours, for days, for months. We'll not be able to cover everything else, but yeah, it's always nice to.
We just started to get there.
Yeah, we just started. Yeah.
Yeah, and from what I learned today, first we need to put on all the links that we put out there some additional UTM links. There's
That'll be
link
good.
to what you said about it in the episode already. Then we should see the data at least weekly to know, okay, this happened last week. I shared this link there, so this is probably coming from there. And try to compare with others if we are not sure what all this data means.
Yeah, exactly like that. This is a good start. Usually, on my lecture, I tell people you'll not be able to get the quick fix, the quick win within a couple of days. I mean, it can happen, but it's accidental. But you'll be able to be better, 1% better than yourself last week, or 0.5% better than yourself last week. But if you're consistent in looking at the data, you'll be better than yourself for many, many weeks. And within 3 months, you'll be a lot better than that you were before. And you will be better in understanding your visitors' behavior. Because we should not forget that what we see in Google Analytics or any other digital marketing data is people behaving. People are coming to our website and they are doing something. This is a human behavior. This is not just campaigns, metrics, and which post is better. Yeah, it is, okay. But people are coming to our website and they are doing something. So the whole data we have, it's not huge statistics, mathematics. You don't need to be excellent in physics in order to understand that. You need to be good in understanding human behavior in order to understand digital analytics data. This is most important. And that's why it's a marketing tool. So marketeers are actually ones who understand the outcome the most. The problem is that most marketeers are afraid of numbers. They want visuals, they want creatives, they want words, but numbers, I hate that. I hated that in high school. I don't want that anymore. So, but that's bad because they are much, much better into understanding the data of Google Analytics than somebody who is, I don't know, a good web developer or excellent in physics. They're excellent in gathering that data, but not necessarily in understanding the data. And most of the time when I'm talking about digital analytics, I'm usually mentioning the well-known TV show, The Big Bang Theory. You know that, definitely, The Big Bang Theory. So most people think that they need to be Sheldon or Leonard in order to deal with Google Analytics or any kind of data. No, we need Leonards and Sheldons to get that data into databases. But we need Penny to understand the outcome because she is much, much better than anybody else into understanding the human behavior. So once you get the data, once you get a chart and table, you need someone like Penny who can tell, oh, that happens because we switched the color of our purse from blue to red. Yeah, that's why we have this data. This is kind of information that we can actually pinpoint in tools like Google Analytics. And if you don't know how to do that, yeah, I don't know, come to my lecture and you'll figure it out. Yeah.
Actually, I see our audience is already deep into your website. They are reading all the pages there. Edita is also reading something. She doesn't even
I was
listen
checking
to
my
it at
Google
the moment.
Analytics while Robert was speaking just to check all the bits he was talking about. So I'm definitely learning. And from everyone being silent in the chat, I'd say they are doing the same, trying to figure out what's happening there. You said they come to your lectures. Can they see on your web? When's the next one?
Yeah. Actually, the next one will be quite soon. I think in like 10 days. Let me see if I put it on an analytics or on English version of my website. No, I didn't, but I could put it again in the chat. I'm doing a lot of lectures around, and I'm The springtime is time for conferences as much as the autumn. So soon I will be at Balkan e-commerce summit in Sofia, in Bulgaria. It's in 2 weeks, actually. I will be there talking about how do people behave on different web shops, and why should we stop looking at abandoned shopping carts. Then I'll be at some Measure Camps. Measure Camp is an analytical conference. I won't be able to attend Measure Camp Croatia this year, which is on my birthday. So it's 16th and 17th of May in Split. It's an excellent one. I will try to make it to Measure Camp in Serbia, which is a week later. So on May 9th in Subotica, there will be excellent Measure Camp. We're going to talk about digital analytics a lot. There is an excellent conference at the island of Rab in Croatia. So Unlock Rab in late May. So 27th and 28th of May, there's a conference in Rab, conference for web developers, for marketeers, and for designers. So for a lot of people in web. But on 22nd of April and on 23rd of April, I will be doing a masterclass. I will put the link here. Maybe somebody will be interested into that as well. So there is a masterclass in Google Analytics. So it will be a 2-day. We didn't plan that, sorry people, so it's not like paid promotion.
Additional links need to be created, so just a couple of minutes more.
The URL is here. You can, which is actually good for your listeners if they are from Croatia or from surroundings, if they understand Croatian. I will be having a masterclass. It's a 2-day workshop for Google Analytics, where you'll be able to learn anything from the beginning, or how to set up the web analytics, because usually people are just clicking on code and put it on website. But you'll be able to understand a lot more on everything we talked about here. How to understand your website visitors' behavior, how to understand where those good quality or bad quality visits are coming from, and a lot more on this 2 days masterclass. And if they click on or on a link you actually provided here, I think we can put it in the chat as well. But if you come through the link we provided, you will get the 80 euros discount for the whole masterclass, which is actually good. It's not like it costs 3,000 euros. No, it's much less. But okay, you can get a nice discount. I think it's even 20% discount. And yeah, you can. It's on 22nd. So next week we're going to be in Zagreb, in a hotel Sheraton, I think. And there's going to be a whole masterclass on digital analytics, where I'll do most of the talks like this. I will constantly talking about numbers and figures and charts. Everybody else will just nod, trying to pretend that they are understanding everything that I talked about. And but they say it's fun. So yeah, okay. Will be.
It needs to be fun. It's all the numbers and things we don't understand. So yeah, at least it's fun.
It needs to be fun. Yeah.
All these offline events, do you do some online webinars or something like this for more international audience, which are not actually in some place at the moment?
Well, I'm trying to right now. I was attending a few podcasts lately, and I will
like this one
in the future, like this one. Yeah, thank you very much for having me here. And there will be some in the future. I do have some online courses, or let's say, I don't know how accessible they are anymore in Croatian, but there will be a new course soon. And I'm actually trying. I'm right now thinking of whether to put it in English as well, because there are a lot of colleagues of mine which I know.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of colleagues of mine that are good in digital analytics courses. So I've just named a few. It's Julius Fedorovicius, Analytics Mania. His channel is Analytics Mania. So you can track him on YouTube, and he has a great courses on web analytics, mostly paid courses on digital analytics, where you can learn a lot on how to set up the data and how to read the data. Krista Seiden is she used to be working for Google, actually doing a lot of talks on digital analytics, and there she's now part of can't remember its other digital tool, but she's really good in having online courses. So Julius Fedorovicius from Estonia, Krista Seiden from US, we have, I don't know, Fred Pike. Fred Pike is from Chicago or from near Chicago. He is good in also have a lot of online courses which you can find, I don't know, on Coursera, or Measure U, which is also a platform for digital courses. So there are a few colleagues of mine which I usually meet on a yearly basis. We meet together, so yeah, we share our knowledge. There are good quality courses out there. There are not that many courses in Croatian language. I do have one, and as I said, I suppose I will soon have my YouTube channel relaunched, because I do have a YouTube channel called Analytikas Petkom, which is, let's say, Analytical Friday, because of my family name. So probably that channel will also be relaunched soon. And yeah, it was a good question, because I'm still struggling with myself whether to create the content in English language or in Croatian, because most of people who are actually listening to me in Croatian, they're like, finally somebody is speaking with a language that I can understand, because nobody understands data, and even in English it's so hard. So that the content in Croatian will stay, but also some content in English. Although my website is mostly translated in English language as well, so you can learn more on web analytics, and it will be constantly updated, not just from now on, but it will be updated with some new topics pretty soon.
Excellent. So people can find where you're going to on your website. I suppose on LinkedIn as well, they can track where they can find you next.
Yes, usually I'm announcing my next stage appearance on LinkedIn as well. But yeah, on my website, usually you can find it. Even on the homepage, you can find a list of events where I'll be next. And it's different in English and in Croatian. So yeah, you can find me there, at least.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing all this information with us. I'm sure it's valuable for our viewers, because it was for us as well. We've learned a lot. And we hope to see you soon, maybe announcing some English language courses.
Oh,
we'll see.
Yeah, okay. That would be great. Yes.
Thank you so
for having
much. Yeah, it was really great. My head is spinning for all this data. So yeah, you need to have big head for all this analytics with so many numbers and things, and coffee, of course. So thank you, Robert, once again for your time and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you again.